Here is the thing, y'all. It is the day before the last day of 2011. How in the hell did that happen? So I have some notes. Unlike most of my vlogs, I have some notes because I want to talk about a little bit about the year that was, or the year that is about to be. Freshly shaved. Hope you like. I just decided it was time. I don't know why. I don't know why I grow it. I don't know why I shave it. Just because. Anyways, talk a little bit about the shows, duh, that I did this year, because duh, I like the theater a little bit. I started the year a year ago. This time I was in right in the middle of the run for Jazzy Chaperone at Theater 3, which was just delightful. It was a critical success. The audiences loved it. It ended up winning the Column Award for Best Equity Musical, and just the group of people to spend the holidays with was astonishing. And last New Year's Eve, Sean and Melissa and Jen and Tim and several friends came to see the show New Year's Eve, which was a blast to do a show New Year's Eve. And then we hightailed it here and had a party. So it was a great way to start what would turn out to be a really terrific year, at least theatrically. Followed that up with Thank You for Being a Friend, the unauthorized musical parody of the Golden Girls, where I got a chance to play B. Arthur, excuse me, Dorothea. I didn't know that B was in me, and I didn't realize the influence B. Arthur had in me when I went back and started doing some research and started looking at things that I already had saved on my computer and things of that nature. And B has always kind of been a presence in my life, ironically enough. Um, uh, the show was a little bit laborious to put up because it was in the middle of all that snow and ice we got during the Super Bowl time. So it was tough. It was tough, and by the time we opened, we weren't sure what we had. We weren't, the six of us were not having a great time like during Tech Week because it was hell. It was really hard. And then we opened, and performing in front of a bunch of people at a bar, I was a little weary of it and what it was going to do, but man, it was a lot of fun. We had a blast. And I loved working with Drew and, of course, with Philip again and with John De Los Santos. But the relationship that Michael Moore and Chris Robinson and I forged as the three older broads um, was really special. We'd all been friends collectively for a long time, but we never worked together like this, where the three of us were kind of had this kind of bond. It was really fun, and I hope that someday we get to revisit those girls in Miami because they were a blast. I followed that up with The Men from the Boys for Todd Camp and Kyle Trentham at Q Live. It was a reading of the sequel from The Boys in the Band, which I had done in January of 2000. So for a reading, I got the opportunity to revisit my character Emery, and it was a lot of fun. I got a chance to work with people that I hadn't worked with in a long time or had never shared the stage with, like Dennis Canwright. How is that possible? We've known each other for 20 years, but have never shared the stage. But that's also where I met Colin. So that show will always be very, very special to me because it brought a really bright light into my life. So I'm thankful for that. I went straight from that into my very first Broadway ROA, which was a hoot. Again, trying to get put together because it's a huge show. If anybody's ever seen it, you have no concept of what goes into putting that all together. It's a lot of work in a very short period of time because Uptown is so conscious of their actors' time and don't want to waste anything. It's done in about 2.5 weeks, and these are all original numbers to speak of. I mean, they're done with an original concept. Let's put it that way. And it's tough, and you got to fight for your rehearsal time. And but man, once you get it up and being back on the Kalita stage, nothing quite like it. It's pretty remarkable. I thoroughly enjoyed my first, I hope, knock wood, of many Broadway ROAs. It's always a pleasure to work for Uptown, always. But Broadway ROA was kind of special, just because it was filled with my friends and it just was great. I followed that almost immediately with the regional premiere of Xanadu, which is how this vlog all started through um, the love and the joy that I had for that show and for those people. The material is campy, ridiculous stuff. I wasn't quite right for the role, but made it work, and I think I made it work pretty well. But those 9 people, it truly was magic, and it was a glorious way to spend my summer. Right after that, I was part of the Uptown Players first annual Pride Festival, Pride Performing Arts Festival, where I did a show called Last Sunday in June, which was a play, thank God. Um, and I played the sassy gay friend. Surprise. Well, they were all gay, but I was the sassy of the gays. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was really nice to work with those people. I got a chance to work with Robert Kamina twice in one year. I got a chance to work with Rick again. I got a chance to meet some really interesting people, Jonathan Greer and Jerry Crow and Greg Turnipseed, and revisit some stuff with Chris and to work with Lee again. So that was a fun time, and being part of that festival. Uh, and being part of something brand new that nobody had ever done before, and kind of seeing your friends in the hall because half the people in town were working on the festival in some way, shape, or form. It was really cool. It was great. And so that was my last foray into this on the stage this year. And I've taken a break since then, and I am itching to get back. I've got a couple of things lined up that I'm not sure I can announce quite yet. So I'm going to hold off until I get a definite approval, but I will be back on the boards in about 6 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to it. What else this year? I don't want this to go on for forever, but some highlights and lowlights of the year. Mom got a clean bill of health from her breast cancer scare about a year ago, and that was a blessed thing. Dad was in line for some brain stimulus surgery to help curb the symptoms of Parkinson's, and he was headed in the right direction. And then we found out that his cancer has returned. Um, it was a hard blow because, particularly, my mom and dad had put everything into this potential surgery that now has to be delayed indefinitely until the cancer is addressed. He's going through monthly treatments and taking some medication that hopefully will strengthen his immune system and particularly his bones. We are taking it day by day, and that's all we can do. Is to hold on to each other and love each other and just battle it. We battled cancer with him before. We battled mom's cancer. We've dealt with and adapted to the Parkinson's. So we'll just battle this cancer too. Um, the Some other highlights: taking a trip to San Antonio with Michael Moore and Jed and Tim, and just having like a long weekend down in San Antonio and having fun. We got a chance to see Brian and Erica again. Brian and Erica, who we met on a cruise 2 years ago, now because we were on a cruise 2 years ago at New Year's Eve. And they've really become really good friends. They came up for we went on the cruise. We went on this 10-day adventure in the Southern Caribbean. They came on the cruise with us, and then they came up for Thanksgiving, which was really cool. So we've actually got a chance to see Brandon and Erica 3 times this year, which is really really cool because they're just genuinely really terrific people, and I'm glad to have them in my life. I'm always blessed when good people cross my path, and I've had a lot of that this year. DFW Actors Give Back has been a big part of my life this year. I don't think I can announce. In 2009, the Jonathan's Place, the beneficiary of Holodazzle, the first Holodazzle, was given just over $9,000. So I think it was right around $9,000. I will say that we surpassed that for this year. There will be a formal announcement coming out soon, but I was extraordinarily pleased with the amount of money that we were able to raise. It was a labor of love, and I was really very, very, very proud of the work that this community did and put forth. our best and our brightest, our newest talent and some of our veteran talent. And it's terrific. The CD is amazing. Um, Lone Star Ride was a big highlight of the year too. Lone Star Ride Fighting AIDS is a bike ride that is over the course of 2 days, benefits three AIDS organizations in the area, and it's my third or fourth year to be involved, I think. And it's a very special weekend. It does change your life. So you'll hear more about that in the fall from me, because I will again be doing LSR, I'm sure. And then while we were on the cruise, I got word that my uncle Sonny, had passed away. He'd been very, very sick for a while, and uh, it was really hard for my mom. Very, very hard for my mom. Um, but it wasn't unexpected, but it still didn't make it any easier. So um, luckily we made through these holidays, uh, but he was and is missed. Um, I loved him, and my mother worshipped her older brother, and I just losing a sibling is it's just different. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. I think that's basically it for me for the year. Those are some of the highlights and some of the lowlights. It's been a really good year. That I think the biggest lesson I learned from this year is that I learned or gained a new sense of confidence in myself, in what I'm able to do and how I contribute to this world, to this life. Um, I am happy with who I've become. Um, I know that through the warmth that I try to portray, and through the sheer luck of me being able to still be on stage, um, brings brings joy to other people, and I finally learned to appreciate that this year. That it's a good thing. I love my family and friends. I love my family. It has been quite a year, one for the record books in some cases. I look forward to 2012, where hopefully I will continue to find the core of who I am and making that person better. Um, Hopefully, getting out there in the dating world a little bit more. I did a little bit this year, more than I have in a while, but I'm ready for that. I think I'm ready for something of that ilk, but we'll see. It's all in God's plan, and I can only give it to Him and ask that He help guide me. And I think that's it, y'all. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Everybody, please be safe New Year's Eve, and bring in 2012 with a smile and a joy and a hug with somebody that you know you love. Look back on 2011 and learn the lessons that were given to you. Celebrate the joys, mourn the sorrows, and then tie a ribbon on it and let it go. Let it go into the history books, and don't carry over any animosity or pain. Try to go into the new year with a new spirit and a new smile, and a new hearty laugh, because I do believe that if you laugh every day, life is just better. And here's the thing, I love y'all. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.